My name is Stephen Lieberman. We go pretty quick. There's not that much time here. Today, I'm going to talk to you about simulating complex, adaptive, large-scale emergence in society scales. It's a system that I put together. Just going to do a high-level overview of that. We're going to talk about some social networking analysis applications. We're going to talk about using this system for social work and allied professions for advancing social good, public policy, and social service intervention testing in silico, that's inside of the computer, so designing experiments that would be done on representative agent populations that we could never conduct in the real world. We're going to talk a little bit about the VP&A process that's already undergone that proves its validity in the field, and some extensions. So, at a very, very high level, Scales uses survey data that has a large number of people and a large number of items, cross-sectional data. So it's point-in-time data with a representative example. Something like this world value survey, when you take 300 items, sociodemographic information, data about beliefs, values, behaviors. And what we're doing with this is we're selecting certain dimensions. So trust of another religion. We look at how these people interact in that dimension, trust in people in general, and say confidence in the justice system. So we take these two people, so it's a dyadic relationship at first, and we start to measure how they interact and how they may interact in which you generate these dimensions. And we scale this up. So we take this entire survey with 300 items and thousands of people, and we conduct this for every pair of agents. This is the instantiation network. So all of these agents are connected to one another by links that are weighted from 0, which means they are occupying the exact same space in that dimension, to the maximum range. And influence grows inversely to that. This is a very high dimensional network, but here's a 2D projection of it that shows only links above a certain weight. The simulation starts with this instantiation network, so it's a network that we've generated from this combination of survey data and whatever interventions we'd like to test. And each simulation run shows how the agent's behaviors, behavioral characteristics, and other factors change over time and how they interact. So in this example, this is just kind of like raw output. We have this ME-NDA1 agent interacting with A4, and we can see along this elections dimension, that's confidence in elections or likelihood to participate in elections, that influence between these two agents going down slightly in that dimension, and probably a lot of other dimensions as well. So we take the output of this data from the simulation is a continuous process. Everything is evaluated once, and it leads to a giant network, something like this. We can already see it's got two large groups, but if we zoom in, we can see with network structure in much more detail. So if we take these output networks, we set that link representation, remove everything else, and export it, we can use our estimating toolkit to analyze the population level. We compare this network at different points in time along simulation about how behaviors have changed and agents are interacting, and we can look at different threshold values. Please talk to me after if you have any questions about either of those. So there's a few really convenient or good features of the scale system for use in social work, policy, intervention, testing, and design. One, it's very easy to combine data sets. We'll show an example. Also, we have these rich descriptions of not just each agent, but of their interactions in the social environment. So we're intrinsically looking at intersectionality. So we'll take an example of LGBTQ suicide. We know statistics here. So let's say what we want to do is we want to use scale swap to test interventions. We're going to combine data from the General Social Survey, CDC's risk behavior surveillance system, and the Trevor Project. Scale swap will provide us with the suicide variable outcomes based on our intervention strategies. right? So we're looking at other factors and changing those factors in the instantiation network to design our interventions. Through the simulation, we'll have outcome variables, whatever we're looking at, those are going to change the response to them, right? So, again, you don't read all of these slides, right? Most of these words so you can read them later. The point of this is that these are large surveys. These are all surveys with thousands of people and many variables. It's freely available, and we can combine them. We can match up demographic and suicide variables. These use the same suicide variables, for instance. Won't go into this much except to say that Scales has been through a very rigorous verification, validation, and accreditation process. The government spent probably $2 million to make sure that the system really works in the field, and it has been deployed and has been used for about 14 years. Here's some of the data sets we used in the beginning to evaluate forecasting over time and cross-culturally. And one of the very interesting and important things for this work that I want to just highlight here is the VBA process for the Department of Defense requires your simulations to be traceable. That means we can look back and we can see exactly what's happened at every point in time with every single agent and every single interaction. There's no black box here whatsoever. That means we can build stories and narratives out of the data. We can tell stories about what the data is doing and what our interventions are doing with this representation population. So extensions, no one really wants to use this, right? We need to make an actual UI especially for non-techies, something that can generate reports. We can get data in and out really quickly. What brings me here today, in large part, is to find collaborators and introduce collaboration opportunities to work on the AI part of this. We want to design and implement a goal-driven, objective-driven approach where practitioners and policymakers can input their desired end state in the system, and the scale system discovers what values to change in the instantiation network. Of course, this is best for resource allocations, optimization, and funders love it when you can do this. That's what we want to see. So, collaboration opportunities. There's AI development. There's this UI, UX development, and of course, looking for people that are experts in policy and leaders and organizations to help craft these things together. So if you're interested in any of this or interested in learning more, please contact me directly at stephenlieberman@gmail.com. Thank you very much.